Okay, wait, shall we? Okay, good. Starting from the morning, afternoon, and evening to everyone. So it's really nice having you again joining us in this professional workshop series together with me, Levi, Rich, and also Olaf that will guide you throughout the event. And allow me also to say hi to all of the participants who joined. Hello. Okay, let me tell you something about us. So my English Club is a non-profit community of practice dedicated to English language teachers of future teachers from all backgrounds worldwide, providing discussion, forums, and workshops. Bangun Tunas Cerdas Indonesia Foundation is also part of the legal umbrella institution for my English Club, and it focuses on education and sustainable development goals in general. Okay. Okay, for this mini PD workshop, allow commitment only 90 to 100 and 1 hour and a half minutes, yet insightful mini workshop. The trainers are academics and practitioners in applied linguistics, English language teaching or ELT, and quality education. It is aimed to enlarging teachers' perspective on the current and relevant issue in ELT and enhancing the teaching skills. Held once a month and is open to every teacher around the globe. Okay, here are the professional development workshop and the practitioner also the expertise from the representative field. And we still have two upcoming trainers with us. Paulo and Fatima will join us in the next two episodes of our workshop. So please stay tuned. Okay, your facilitators today are me, myself, and we have Levi and Rich. We are going to join you guys in the breakout room, helping you with the process, as well as Olaf will also guide you with the materials. And allow me to introduce you guys to our trainer today, Olaf Morales, an English and Spanish language coach with 20 more years experience. Hold a master degree in English language teaching from the University of Southampton in the UK. Oh, it's the same with Levi's background. Okay, so he is certified in Spanish language teaching from Oxford House Barcelona and a specialization in teaching and learning in EFL from Universidad. Wow, I need help to pronounce this one.
Universidad Pedagógica Nacional. I know, it's like
okay,
a tongue twister.
Universidad Pedagógica Nacional. Okay, thank you, Olaf.
Sure.
Okay, and he is indeed passionate in connecting language learning with culture, traditions, and community. Wait. Okay, so here's the rundown. Wait, is it or the screen is a bit bigger? Oh yeah, that one. Sorry. So the rundown that we're going to have for this event is we have the opening and introduction, which just happened. Me as giving you the introduction stage, also Levi earlier, and there will be interaction done in 50 minutes and with a question and answer for 20 minutes. It will be delivered by the trainer presentation first. And there will be a hand-on activity with the duration of at about 20 minutes. There will be a course sharing session and closing. All participants share discussion in the main room. That's all the activities. And last one is we wrap it up. Okay. Okay, and a little note for the upcoming process. I would like to remind you that please remain in mute mode during the presentation and please turn on your video whenever possible. So that's the condition, okay? Whenever possible. And you are welcome to be a discussant or a listener during the hands-on session. Passive listener is also welcome. And of course, have an exciting and productive discussion. Okay, from here, I give the screen to Olaf. Please, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much. And hello, everyone. And I would say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Can you hear me well? Just checking the sound. Yes? All right.
Clear and loud.
Thank you very much, Levi. All right. I'll share my screen from here. Just want to double check. Can you see my screen? Yep. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So welcome everyone. We will have a Q&A round session at the very end. Probably you might have a few questions. I'll do my best to answer those questions. I usually like to start by saying that what I will share today is just one way to do things. When it comes about language teaching and technology, there are many different ways to do things. So this is the way I do it and the way I use it with my students. And this is something that I have been testing for a few years. Well, when it comes about AI or artificial intelligence, this is something very recent, at least for me. But I would say like this has provided a lot of new opportunities. And this is what I will show you. This is the way that I have been using these tools and the way that it can help me and my teaching improves and just make it and somehow make it easier. So that's why I decided today to create this presentation for you and this mini PD workshop, as Arga said, just stating the idea of empowering language teaching with AI and how we can boost this creativity and productivity. And to start with this, I would just like to give you an overview of what we will have today. And basically, we're going to understand artificial intelligence role in education. Then we're going to learn how to prompt AI tools like ChatGPT, how to create AI-generated visual aids for teaching, and how to automate routine tasks like lesson planning. And finally, we're going to work on a mini final project where we are going to design an AI-powered lesson plan, just using all of the information that we just saw previously. So what do we need for this mini workshop? Well, basically, probably you already have it. You need a ChatGPT account. I mean, the free version works fine. You need a Canva account, a Microsoft Copilot account, which if you have already a Hotmail or Outlook account, that's the one that we need. And then I can explain more later. So we need a Quizzes or Quizlet as well. It's pretty much the same. There's another website, Robistar. We don't need a subscription for this one. And then we have another website that we're going to be using today, Teachermatic and Write and Improve from Cambridge. So all of these are all of the websites or platforms that we're going to be using today. But no worries, if you don't have an account, it doesn't take more than 5 minutes to set it up. So, I mean, just first listen to me, and then when we need it, I'll let you know. All right, so welcome. This interactive workshop is designed to introduce English language teachers to the transformative power of artificial intelligence in education. And the first question that I would like to ask is, what teaching tasks would you like to automate or enhance with artificial intelligence? Can you possibly write some ideas in the chat? So I can start reading from you and just like getting a few ideas. What teaching task or tasks would you like to just get extra ideas? And as you write, I would just like to remind you that the way I see artificial intelligence is not like I want artificial intelligence to do everything for me. Instead, see artificial intelligence as your twin. That's your AI twin that can help you interact and get fresher ideas. And I know as a language teacher, sometimes we have been doing many things the same way. Oh, interesting, creative writing. Uh, so your twin, your AI twin, could help you with newer ideas and could help you also expand those ideas. Yep, creating materials takes ages to create them manually, especially if you want to make them look attractive. Correct. So it's not like that this artificial intelligence will replace you, but instead it will give you other ideas, other ways of thinking, and that's going to help your teaching. So this is what we're going to do today, just to say, okay, I have an idea. But then what else could I do? What other activities I could have? And I know that time is limited and we're very busy people. So by using artificial intelligence, it's also very helpful and helps you with your time as well when it comes about lesson planning. So from here, let's just start with the first section of our presentation, which is about artificial intelligence in education. So what is AI? And how can it help you in language teaching? Yeah, creating tests. We'll talk about that as well. Yep. So basically, the one definition is that artificial intelligence refers to machines or systems that mimic human intelligence, such as learning, problem solving, and adapting. And I would say that artificial intelligence is moving very fast since we had the first ChatGPT version to now, which is now, I think, fourth. Now, so many things have changed. So every time artificial intelligence somehow is getting faster, better, and more accurate. And I would say that this is good in terms of like what we do, language teaching, because it provides better answers. So artificial intelligence is just one thing, but what's the role in education? Well, it can personalize learning, tailor lessons to individual student needs. As we know, sometimes we have so many students, but every student is just different. It could create support. It helps generate content and teaching materials. You know, we have to be constantly creating new materials, and sometimes it's hard for us because we don't have the time. And also efficiency, because it automates tasks like grading and assessments, things that sometimes require so much time. So how does this connect with ChatGPT and language teaching? Probably, I'm pretty sure that you have heard about ChatGPT. It has become a trend these days. But what is it? Well, it's a powerful AI tool designed to generate human-like text based on users' inputs. And I will just highlight this, this word, inputs, because it's going to be very relevant in the following slides. So, and it can assist teachers in creating lesson plans, exercises, and engaging content for students. Now, from my experience, I have realized like no one, at least for me, no one really taught me how to use ChatGPT effectively. Sure, you know, like, do you learn that by typing text and asking ChatGPT to do some things, then you get results. But it's more than that. So when it comes about ChatGPT or these type of AIs, we need to understand how to prompt correctly. And I would say that prompting is an art, honestly. It's not just like asking AI, please create a lesson plan for me because I'm very busy. Pretty sure, yeah, ChatGPT will just give an answer. But the question is that answer accurate? Is that what I need? Is that what I want? And this is when it comes about prompting. So prompting engineering is the art of designing effective inputs, prompts, to get the most relevant, accurate, and creative responses from AI. And this has to be well structured, because if you have a well structured prompt, it will lead to a better result. In this case, for language teaching tasks. So the question is, okay, how should I prompt correctly? How should I type? Well, for me, it has been through trial and error. It has been through like reading and just practicing and basically like typing things that I really need from AI. But the tips that I could share with you is that the clearer and the more specific you are, the better results you will get. And also, I think like things that sometimes we do not fully know is that providing context for an AI is so much helpful, because if you provide context, then the answers will be more focused. What does that mean? Okay, let's say I want to create a lesson plan, right? And this lesson plan talks about transportation, right? Transportation in town, different types of transportation. But if I just write, please create a lesson plan about transportation in the city. Sure, AI will create, ChatGPT specifically will create a lesson plan, but probably that's not gonna be the best lesson plan. Instead, if I introduce myself and say, AI, you are an English teacher. You teach elementary students from ages 6 to 8. And I need you to create a lesson plan that connects with public transportation. And it needs to have vocabulary, it needs to have one writing exercise, and it needs to have a final quiz. So then I know how much students have learned. Create this lesson plan that should last no more than 60 minutes. And please create an assessment and create a rubric for this. If I am that kind of specific, then ChatGPT will create something more sophisticated. It's not gonna be just a regular lesson plan, but it will give me a guideline of all of that. And this is what I'm talking about. So we need to provide ChatGPT with enough information, so then ChatGPT can have that information and then create something that aligns with what we want. And then I'll just give you another tip. So sometimes we think ChatGPT as the listener, but we can just change that mindset and say, instead of like me asking things for ChatGPT, first I can say, ChatGPT, please ask me questions about my teaching. Before creating the lesson plan, ask me the questions that you need in order to create this specific lesson plan. And then ChatGPT will start asking me those questions. And then based on the information that I provide, ChatGPT will create a lesson plan, okay? During the practice, I can show you how to do that if you want to. Okay, so what kind of prompts could I use for what we do? Okay, grammar exercises. Create a 10-question multiple choice quiz on the past simple tense. Conversation starters. Generate 5 conversation prompts for a beginner level English class focused on travel. Or vocabulary activities. List 10 common phrasal verbs and provide a sentence example for each. Or reading comprehension. Write a short story for intermediate English learners followed by 5 comprehension questions. As you can see, I'm very specific, okay, but I'm telling ChatGPT what to create. It's not only say, okay, please just give me 10 common phrasal verbs. Or please just write a short story for my English students. ChatGPT doesn't know what type of students you have, doesn't know the age, doesn't know the goals, doesn't know anything. If you say, just write a short story for my English learners, then ChatGPT will create something, but probably that's not gonna work for your students. Maybe it's too easy, maybe it's too hard. But by providing the level, the number of questions, then it's way much better. And let me tell you, this is just like a basic prompt. We can make it more sophisticated. If we provide more information, then you will get better results. So don't hesitate when asking ChatGPT something. be more specific, provide more information, and the results will be much better. All right? We'll practice that during the practice session. So, okay, hands-on activity, prompting on ChatGPT. What are we doing right now? So let's experiment with the following prompts in ChatGPT to create a class activity. Then we're gonna share it here in the class, okay? So one option is designing a speaking activity for intermediate learners. Another idea is to generate a grammar quiz on present perfect tense. And finally, we have the creation of a reading comprehension exercise for basic learners. I will copy this. I'm gonna put it in the chat for all of you. And we have 10 minutes for this breakout room task. Levy, do you mind? So what are we doing? We are using ChatGPT to write. Now, this is just an idea. What I want you to do is to start prompting by giving ChatGPT enough information to create these activities. Okay, and then we'll talk about the results that we get. Levy, please.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm going to put everyone in a breakout room. I think it's fair to say we can be divided into 3 rooms, so 5 people each, and there will be one facilitator, whether myself, or Rich or Arga accompany you in each of the group. And Olaf, please feel free to move from one group to the other.
Welcome back.
Let's wait for other to joining us.
Yes.
Because it seems like they are still in the discussion. Yeah.
So I would like to share my screen using my ChatGPT account. Just for those who were not able to connect or have an account ready for this today's session, okay? And as I was telling you, just real quick, I'll show you the way I usually do it. It doesn't mean that's the only way. So this is my account, right? And then I say, okay, you are an English teacher. You're an English teacher. You have, let's say, high school students, and they have basic level. I need you to create the following activity. And then I can copy and paste what I want ChatGPT to do, right? Please ask any necessary questions in order to provide the best, the best activity or the best outcome, let's say. And let's see what we have. So then ChatGPT starts just like creating like an activity. And then as you can see, before I get the result I want, ChatGPT asks some other questions. And that's the difference. Then what I could do next, it says, okay, what is the main goal of the activity? How much time should the activity take? Are there any specific topics you'd like the students to cover? What is the typical classroom setup? Would you like the activity to include any specific grammar structures? Are there any resources or materials you'd like to incorporate? And then ChatGPT says, once I have these details, I can design an effective, engaging speaking activity for your intermediate students. See, if I had just written, just create or design a speaking activity for intermediate learners. Let's see what ChatGPT does. If I just say, create Design a speaking activity for intermediate learners. I get something, right? Dream vacation plan. And I get the results. But now the question is, do I want, I'm going to stop it here for a second. Okay, yeah. Do I want this activity for my students? Maybe yes, maybe no. But then ChatGPT is making decisions for me. That's what I don't want. No, I want ChatGPT to design an activity based on my goals or my needs, and also my students' needs. So that's why you see the difference between prompting something very basic versus prompting something that says, okay, you're an English teacher, ChatGPT. Put that mask as an English teacher. And then based on that mask, then I provide more information. And then I say, okay, please ask me questions. So then, and then create this activity. So my suggestion for you when using ChatGPT is something that ChatGPT reads your mind. ChatGPT creates something based on the information that it has. So if it has more information, then you get better results. Does that make sense? Yep. All right. So ChatGPT is just one way, but let's just continue because there's more. So let me just stop sharing here and I'm going to start working from the presentation here. All right. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, but also we have, this is something very new, quite new, I would say, which is creating images, AI image generation in English language teaching. Okay, what is it? AI image generation is the process of creating visual content using artificial intelligence algorithms. So there are many tools in the market, tools such as DALL-E from ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, and Canvas AI. They have lots of features and then also allows users to generate custom images from text prompts, enabling the creation of engaging, relevant visuals for various purposes. Okay? So how AI image generation connects to ELT? Okay, you know, as teachers, visual plays a crucial role in language learning by enhancing understanding, sparking creativity, and making lessons more memorable. So then teachers can use AI-generated images to create visual aids for vocab building and storytelling. We can design custom flashcards and posters. We can illustrate concepts that may be difficult to explain with words alone. So there are many ways we could use image generation through AI. And some examples will be vocabulary flashcards, right? So we can generate images representing new vocab words, like different types of transportation, food, professions, etc. Or storytelling activities, like you can ask this AI to create a series of images to prompt students to describe a scene or a construct story. And sometimes I've been into this situation when I need this specific picture, image, but I cannot get it online, or it has a watermark, which for me, I'm very, sometimes I don't like to have watermarks because it doesn't look good. It doesn't look nice. So then you want to have something clean, and sometimes you need to buy that image. Well, by using AI, you don't have to have that problem like watermarks or just buy an image, but you can create your image based on prompts. And also cultural exploration. You can generate images representing different countries, traditions, or cultural artifacts for class discussions. So as you can see, I created these images for this presentation. I asked Microsoft Copilot, which is another artificial intelligence, to create a flashcard image about a bicycle, right? So then I got this picture here. And I also told Copilot to create a famous landmark, right? And then I got this. And I also asked Copilot to create a scene for a storytelling activity, and I got this. The truth is, like, image generation is still, I would say, a baby. It's still not that good. And with image generation, we have to be more creative, and our prompts have to be more specific. Otherwise, sometimes you don't get what you want. And hopefully, when we're practicing with this, you will realize that sometimes you have to try different times until you get the results that you want. But in general, for these 3 images, I was so happy because I could say, like, sure, I could use that on my on one of my activities. I mean, and it didn't take me more than 5 minutes to create these 3. But it all comes about prompting, how to prompt to get these results. So the question for you, how would you use each of these images? So we have an image of the 4 seasons, a set of 4 flashcards with pictures of animals, or a map of an imaginary island. So could you please just type in the chat, how could you possibly use these pictures? I'll read from you. Let's say you have these pictures. How would you use them in a class activity? Any ideas? Okay. Teaching
There we have
vocabulary.
chat.
Start a discussion. Sure. And this is just the beginning. So I created these images based on my needs, based on what I'm teaching. Yeah, later an activity. Yep, exactly. Speaking activity. The first exercise could be used as a warm-up, speaking prompt. What do you enjoy doing in spring, in the summer? Yep, absolutely. Leading an activity to the main lesson. Sure. Yep. First image could be for kids, teach seasons vocabulary. Yep, that's right. Students to make a scripted text. Absolutely. Yep. And as I said, this could be adapted to what your students need. But when it comes about AI creativity, it's the other way around. I ask AI to create something that aligns with my students. I think in the past, before ChatGPT or any type of artificial intelligence existed, it was like, I have this image and I need to think how I could adapt that image to my needs. Now it's, these are my needs. And I just have to create an activity or based on my needs. So then I need this lesson plan, I need this activity, I need this image. So now with artificial intelligence, we have more flexibility in terms of like what we need. And now we can think in terms of what we are going to create instead of thinking of like, I have these 10 flashcards here. What can I do with these 10 flashcards, right? And sometimes, I mean, for me, it represents a challenge when it comes about like paper flashcards because they are expensive, you know, and it's not possible to have like 1,000 flashcards, right? And sometimes we don't have the resources to buy as many flashcards as we wanted. But with this, we can create our flashcards. Yep, Rick. So let's continue. Okay. Probably you've heard of Canva. This is such an amazing platform, which I love so much. Yeah, I would say like 3 years ago, I started using Canva professionally, like as a way to create my my presentations and all of my activities. And Canva recently added these AI tools. So what I will what I would like to do before doing this breakout room task is just to show you how to use Canva AI tools, just real quick. So let me just find Canva. Give me a sec. As you can imagine, I have so many windows open. Okay. So, all right, here we go. So this is my account. And as you will see, I have so many presentations in many different things here. So like, these are all of my presentations that I created with Canva. And here's the presentation that I created for you. But let's say we're going to create another presentation. So I just go from scratch. So here's my presentation. Typically, what I do, this is not a workshop about how to create presentations, but I'll just show you the way I usually do it. So let's say I write here English class. So then I get like a few ideas. Of course, you could use like a free template or you can use like a paid template. It doesn't really matter. But let's go with this one. So then I say English class, right? I have my template here. But I say, you know what? I don't like this image. I want something more realistic. So then on this section, you have all of the elements of Canva, but the one that we want to use today is this, Magic Media. So I click here below, and here it's so interesting because here I can create images, I can create graphics, and I can create videos. This is something very new. So on images, I would say I want, I'll say a laptop in the class. And again, as I said, prompting is key. I'm just gonna be very basic now, but we could be more specific. What I like about Canva AI compared to some other image creation platforms is that I can choose the style here. So I have many different styles to choose from. I can choose a filmic, photo, high flash, minimalist, moody. Let's go and choose, I don't know, let's say this one, concept art. So I'm telling, okay, Canva, I need a laptop in the class image with a concept art style. So generate image. And then it's gonna take a few seconds to create it. Be patient. And I will get 4 options, 4 results. See? And then from here, I can say, okay, I'm waiting for number 4. Let's see what I get. Okay, so we have 4 options here, okay? And I would say, okay, I like this one, number 4. I think it's a pretty picture. So from here, there you go. I have a computer, a laptop image in a classroom that I could use with my presentation. The nicest thing about this is that once created, it remains in your uploads and you could use it for multiple cases. And then from here, I don't know, let's say I could just add an element. I don't know, I would something like a frame probably. And I could say, okay, I want a device frame and I want something like a computer, okay? So I could do it like this, I could put it here, and then there you go. So I could do so many things, right? And this is just one way to do it. So if we go back to Magic Media, I can also create graphics. And I would say now, okay, I need, I don't know, let's say a school in the city. Okay, and then I also choose the style. What style do I want? And this time I want something more like vintage. And then I can generate that. So from there, I could just move this. Well, while I'm waiting for the image creation, generation, I can just edit my text. I can just move it around, you know, change the type of font that I want to use. This one, you know, edit like this. And then I go back to Magic Media. And then I have something like this, right? Okay. And then I use this, okay? This is the image that I also want. And I could just change it to this one. I could edit, just put it like this. And there you go. So you see the message that says here, Magic Media is breaking bots office records, worker and experience high demand. Please try again in a few moments. I could just try again within a few minutes, and then it's gonna work again. Two things here. There is a free version and there's a paid version of Canva. So with the free version, you have 10 credits. And what is a credit? What does a credit mean? It means like every time that you create an image, a graphic, or a video, then it takes 1 credit out of from your account. Okay. And then you have to wait for a time to get new credits. This is a paid version, so I have 500 credits monthly, but with that, it's like enough for what I do. So this is going to be based on what you do. If you like to create lots of images, then maybe you need more credits, but if for like something basic, then that's fine. Now, this is just one way to create images. Now, another way is to use Microsoft Copilot. And what is Microsoft Copilot? It's the Microsoft AI. And what I like about Copilot is that it's free because you only need to have an Outlook account and you can create as many images as you want. And you don't have to pay for that. So here the same. I can say, create an image of a laptop in a classroom. And then I'm gonna get the image. Sometimes due to high demand, it might say something like, oh, you know, right now we cannot create it because, you know, things are too busy. But there you go. We have an image. What we can do here now is just copy this image and paste it here. And just put it here. And there you go. And I could, if I want to, just could modify it. And this is another way to create images from AI. Okay, so we could either use Canva AI through its Magic Media section, or we could use Microsoft Copilot. And then I could just download the image, or I could just copy and paste it wherever I want. So why don't we just go back to the presentation, and now let's practice. You can either use Canva AI through Magic Media, or let's use Microsoft Copilot to try to create some images. So the options are these ones that I will put in the chat as well. So you could design an image of 4 seasons, like create an image of a map, or create image of 4 famous landmarks. Okay. So Levi, please. More seconds, so then the rest of the participants can join. All right. Ahmed, have you gotten any results? Have you been able to create images?
Yes, thank you. It's amazing. First time to log into Canvas. It's, it needs maybe some time to explore everything, but
Ooh.
finally I managed to find, to make one landmark, famous landmark, and it gives the possibility to modify or write something, etc. It's really amazing, actually. It's amazing.
I mean, Amit, I could just teach a workshop on Canva. I mean, just on Canva, I mean, it's just one single workshop because there are so many features that Canva has that teachers sometimes don't know. And honestly, like me, I do not use PowerPoint anymore. I only use Canva because Canva has so many more features, and it also has my presentations organized. So I have access to all my presentations, like they're in the cloud. So then if I forgot my computer, no problem, because I can just go to my account and just download it from there. So, in the past, like, I don't know, something happened to your computer, it's not working. And you're like, okay, now what do I do with my class? Nope, it doesn't happen anymore with that. So Canva is just an amazing platform. I love it. And it's free. I mean, you don't have to pay. There are some pro version features, but I mean, the free version works perfectly for us, for teachers.
Incredible.
All right. So we don't have that much time. Sorry. I just keep talking and talking. Levy, I told you to stop me if you had to, okay? But before we continue with the final section, I would like to just mention that ChatGPT also has an option for creating images, and it's known as DALL-E. So DALL-E, it's included here, embedded into ChatGPT, and I can also say, okay, please create a laptop image in the classroom that connects with the previous lesson that you created. There you go. Let's see what we got. And also ChatGPT can create images. Now, there you go. Okay. And again, I can copy and paste it. I can save the image, and then I can use it in my activity. So it has a limitation on the free version. I think you can create 5 images per day or something like that, but still good. I prefer Canva AI because you can decide like what type of images you want, what style you want. So on ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot is basically like flat, like it gives you the image, but it doesn't give you like options to choose from. But there are 3 options that you can like work on, okay, on image generation. Okay, and by the way, ChatGPT also, it has a version on your phone. So you could use ChatGPT on your phone as well. And also you can use your microphone. So you don't necessarily have to write everything. You could use your mic and talk to ChatGPT, and it just works the same way. All right, so due to the time, I'll just go through the final part of this presentation. And this is about routine tasks with AI. And these can significantly lighten the workload for English teachers, allowing them to focus more on interactive teaching and student engagement, which I think at the end of the day, that's what we want. Personally, I don't want to spend hours creating activities, but instead I would like to use that time to help my students to be better listeners, speakers. So then we can automate routine tasks that we do all the time. And there are so many different platforms. The ones that I just put here are just a few of them, but I think that these are very helpful. So let's say I need to create a quiz. I can use 2 platforms, Quizlet or Quizzes. Personally, I prefer Quizzes. I think it's better. It has more flexibility. And it also, both of these platforms have free versions, so you don't have to pay for that. designing rubrics. You could use ChatGPT, or there's another platform known Rubystar. These are for teachers. You can simply input the type of assignment and AI will generate a detailed rubric that is aligned with learning objectives. This is really cool. You can also generate lesson plans. Lesson plans, did I hear that lesson plans? Oh my gosh, it's so much time, right? Lesson planning, I remember when I was teaching at a high school, I spent hours just by creating, designing lesson plans. So there's this platform, Teachermatic. This one allows teachers to input topics, learning outcomes, and lesson duration, and the AI generates a full lesson plan, including recommended activities and assessments. And last one is the automatic feedback, which this is a tool that you could do it with ChatGPT, but I also wanted to include Write and Improve, and this is by Cambridge. This is like a free like platform, which is great. And it provides instant actionable feedback that students can use to improve their skills. So especially this one, last one, Write and Improve, this could be used by students. So this is a great platform that if your students have to practice their writing skills, this is awesome. And again, probably I have not mentioned this, but Levi will share this presentation with you. So if you don't have the time, then you can just later take a look at this. But why? Why automating routine tasks? Because time efficiency, right? So we spend hours on planning manually. Now we can use that time to, I don't know, student interaction or professional development. Consistency. AI-generated quizzes, rubrics, and feedback ensure that grading and assessment remain consistent and objective. And I think one of the most important things is creativity, okay? So with less time spent on routine tasks, teachers have more mental space to innovate and bring more creativity into the classroom. We want to be creative, but if we're spending hours just on creating a lesson plan or an activity, trust me, there's not so much creativity. But then if you have more time, then creativity comes with that. So we don't have the time, unfortunately, but so here are the platforms: Quizzes, Quizlet, Rubystar, Teachermatic, and Write and Improve. And do you only need an account for these ones? And you just need to practice, do it. And you'll see that these might be tools that you could potentially use with your classroom, students, and like your institution as well. So, Levi, tell me, do we have the Q&A session? We could leave this and just let participants like do it at their own pace time.
Okay,
Yeah,
we still have 10 minutes for the Q&A. Levi? Okay. So we have 10 minutes for the Q&A. Okay. Is that okay, Olaf?
Yep, that works fine.
Okay. All right. So I would like to invite all of the participants. If you have a question, please, you may voice your question now. Either way, you can drop it in the chat. Okay. Please, you may. If anyone have a question, I would like to evaluate which one. Anyone?
Okay.
Anyone?
Me?
Okay. Please. Agus,
Okay.
you may.
Yeah. I have a simple question. I have typed it on the chat.
Let me.
So,
Was it about
the copyright? Is that free copyright when
the
we create
copyright?
it and then we can share it anywhere? Is it a free copyright?
yes, Abu Salim. Images generated through your account are free copyright. I mean, I have read the terms and it says that you could not use them commercially. But honestly, it's really hard because once an AI image has been generated, it belongs to the user that had generated that image. So basically, you are only using the platform to generate that image. But then because it was your prompt, it was your idea, so basically you are the owner of that image.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Thank you for the question, Agus. Okay. So in terms of the copyright, there is a condition as well, but yeah, just feel free to use it. Okay, anyone else would like to voice your thoughts about the presentation or maybe the practice that we have earlier? Or maybe this time we point the person, not waiting for the person to ask. Oh, okay. Levi, all right. Please.
Yeah, just thank you so much, Ola, for the amazing presentations and also the design. I mean the activities that you designed for us today. Just really quickly though, just I do use AI, although not that much, and especially these days because I'm no longer teaching. But the thing is that I feel that what is also involved in using AI for generating anything is basically also the involvement of the reflections afterwards. And what I mean by reflection is that when we add the prompt and then AI generates something for us, then again we still have to kind of filter the result, isn't it? We need to, as you said, we need to decide whether or not this is what we want, and whether this is a good, I mean the suitable activities or materials for the students. So I think this is where the quality of a teacher is still involved, isn't it? Because you still have to decide whether something is a material is generated by whatever that is still still beneficial for your students. So in other way, what I want to say is that we still need to involve this kind of a reflection process, even if we use AI to help us. And the second thing is that I still believe that the role of teacher will not be replaced by AI nevertheless, because there still have to be a personalized process in teaching and contextualized process in teaching. Thank you.
I would say, Levi, thanks for sharing that thought, because this is also very controversial. Sometimes people, English teachers, language teachers, talk about like, oh, okay, now AI is here and now I won't have a job because now AI is replacing my job. I don't think that's the case, at least for now, because you still have to have, as you said, the possibility to make choices. Okay, I have created this lesson plan, I have created this activity, I have created this image, but then it comes about the teacher to decide, okay, does this thing that I have created work for my students, for my class, for my school? So as I said at the very beginning of the presentation, just consider AI as your twin. It's an extension of you that will help you generate new ideas. But it does not necessarily mean that it's going to replace you, or you're going to be like, no, now I have free time because now AI can create all of my lesson plans and my images and my activities, and I have nothing to worry about. No, I don't think that's the case. You still have to do the work. You still have to filter all of that information that AI generates and still make choices based on your goals, needs, and students' motivations and so on, right? Rick?
Yeah, I
Okay.
wanted to follow
Okay.
up on, if I may, very quickly.
Please. You may.
Just to sort of share a personal experience of this. So I've experimented with using AI to create lessons in other languages to see what it comes up with. So my ancestors were speakers of Cornish, which is a near dead language, a language that's almost extinct, only has a few hundred speakers remaining. I've asked ChatGPT to generate a lesson or a reading passage in Cornish. What it came up with was absolute garbage because there simply isn't enough corpus out there to form a coherent text. And although my own Cornish is not fluent, I'm not a fluent speaker, I could see instantly that's garbage. That's unreadable. It's very clear ChatGPT just doesn't have enough of a corpus to draw on. I've tried similarly with Welsh, which I do speak much more confidently, like I work in a Welsh-speaking environment. With Welsh, it makes quite significant grammatical errors at times. It also doesn't have any sense of the cultural context of Welsh. It's quite hard to explain it, but because Wales is a bilingual nation, people tend to use Welsh in some situations and English in others. ChatGPT simply has no reading of that. It simply doesn't understand the appropriateness of when to use certain types of expressions. So you would have to do a lot of work to make it look realistic. And I would really encourage everybody in the call, ask it to generate a passage in a language that you speak well, not English. And preferably something like Bahasa Jawa, Sunda, Makassar, Bugis, like a minority language, where there are a lot of speakers, and you'll see instantly, oh goodness, this needs work. Like it's definitely a good start, but it needs work. Olaf, I don't know if you've tried it in Spanish, where the corpus is obviously very big because there are a lot of Spanish speakers and a lot of Spanish on the internet. I wonder whether you found the same thing.
Spanish is good, but I would say because Spanish, there are so many Spanish speakers. So you could even, I was just telling Levi and we were discussing this, I could even write in Spanish, everything in Spanish, and say, okay, just the output will be in English. So Spanish works fine, but it makes sense because the Spanish language is the fourth in the world. Like there are so many Spanish speakers. But it makes sense what you say, like with some other minority languages, maybe it needs a lot of work. So that would be quite interesting to try with some other languages as well.
Okay, thank you. If I might add, I also find it so surprising that we can use ChatGPT for formulating learning design. I just find out about it. I don't know the features so much, so that's why this really helps me getting the prompts and what to do with the ChatGPT. I was outsmarted by my student in this type of things. Yeah. It's not a race, but just they are being competitive these days. Like, how do they solve their homework or project? They're just 1 or 2 steps ahead of me. But still, it's kind of a bit awkward when they rely so much on the ChatGPT to make an essay. And I noticed, like, I already have your record from the beginning. So how can this format different? This is so sophisticated. Well, this one is on your level. But still, it really helps us to connect with the students using very advanced tools. It's really helpful to upgrade our communications. Okay. All right. I think for the question and answer, that's it. Okay then. How's it next?
Shall we
Let me-
move to the final record room sessions, Olaf? With the assignments one?
Sorry. Yes.
That's all right.
So should we go with the final assignments, the final activities?
I guess so. We have like 25 minutes or so to do
Okay.
that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So let me just go back. Okay, here. So work for all of us, Levi?
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so what's the plan for this? So we have 20 minutes, 15, I would say. So now let's use all of this information that we've studied just to try to create a lesson plan, okay? So there are 3 options. So there are 3 teams. So I think that's perfect, Levi. So one team could work like the first team 1 could do the daily routines activity. The team 2 could do the traveling and transportation. And number 3 could do the environmental issues. Now, what I could do is, just hold on. I could just share this information through the chat. Okay. So then everyone has this information. So let me just do this. Sorry,
Oh,
I'm
and
trying.
also, Olaf, I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt. Just to let you
Yep.
know that myself, Alga, and Rich, we have the copy of your presentations.
Okay,
So
okay.
because we are going to be in each of the breakout rooms, so we can share.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
this
Awesome.
content.
Awesome.
Share
That's
screen. Don't worry.
thank you very much. So go. Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. But probably all of you won't be able to ask someone to share their findings. Maybe, I mean, not their findings, their lesson plan, or maybe you
Yes.
can, but just limit them to the share for like 1 or 2 minutes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Go on
So
then.
why don't we just go and like we choose like 2 people just because of the time, just anyone wants
Yeah.
to share
Yeah, sure.
an image or like even put it like in the chat like a result that you get that
Yeah.
you got previously. Anyone?
I think some of our participants are still in the breakout room.
Oh,
They'll
okay,
be-
okay.
Now, here is everybody.
Okay, everybody's here
Good.
now. Okay. So does anyone want to share one of your findings? Like an image or a prompt? Don't be shy. Rick, yes?
Okay. Rich, you may.
Yeah, Sundus and I were working on the lesson on an advanced lesson on environmental issues, but what came back was not very usable.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and we needed a lot of work. Sundus, do you want to talk us through what came up?
Okay. Yeah. Actually, the time was very tight. The design of the lesson didn't, the differences between the student was not shown in the class, in the design of the lesson. It's supposed that all students are in the same level. That's okay. You're complete.
That was one big issue, wasn't it? And also,
Yeah.
you noticed that the timings of the lesson, it said, for example, 5 minutes for this, 5 minutes for this, 5 minutes for this. Like when you do your CELTA and you feel under great pressure to show all of the different skills in your teaching practice. In reality, we don't teach that way. We have to have 5 or 10 minutes for transitions. Or for example, discussion, 10 minutes. It's like what, to set up the discussion, scaffold it, hold the discussion, reflect on it in 10 minutes can be quite demanding. We also asked for some images to support it. So what did you think of the images that it created?
Actually, they are disappointing and awful. They are not relating to the issue. And it seems that the IA pick a word or a special phrase and build the image on that word or phrase, not the whole sentence.
Yeah. So I think the lesson for us was that we'd have to be very, like you say, very, very precise with your prompt engineering in telling it exactly what you want. But also, strangely, I found that the more detail I was giving it, maybe the more I was confusing it. Maybe actually it helps sometimes to just ask for a simple image. Say, just give me an image of this environmental issue. Instead of trying to make me a flashcard, which you'll just mess up or create something really weird. I don't know. Olaf, does that match your experience or?
That's a good point, Rick. I've been experimenting with image creation, and it turns out that when you provide with very specific details in terms of image generation, and that's why I was saying like it's still like a baby steps, at least for image generation, because sometimes you don't get the results that you want. So you have to try several times till you get what you want. And yep, sometimes when it comes about flashcard generation or like something specific, it's much better to just go easy and short. Just give me a picture of an elephant in the
That's what we were finding.
somewhere else.
Yeah, we found exactly that.
When it comes about prompting for text generation, the more specific you are, the best results that you get. And it all connects with what Levi was also talking about, like saying like, this is not replacing teachers, but it's helping them to get new ideas. But it doesn't really mean like Now you will have free time because now you have nothing to do. Still, you have to filter, still you have to make choices, still you have to do things. But at least it's, as I have said many times, it's your twin. It's someone who can just help you with like idea, creating images, but still you have to filter, you have to do the work.
Yeah, and some of the ideas it came up with were actually good ideas, useful ideas that we could build a lesson around. So, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. I also believe like in the future, the image generation will get so much better. I have also realized like when it comes about like basic concepts like animals, landscaping, images that are like general is good, but when it comes about people, like it still struggles so much, especially with like features like fingers, faces. Sometimes it looks like creepy. It looks like, okay, what's going on here? So you have to be careful with that as well.
Okay, I think we have one more presentation, right? Can we?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, Tanti, I would like to invite you to present your lesson plan from the intermediate level, please. You're muted.
Okay, so today
Okay.
I would like to try to present the lesson plan that I have tried to make on chatgpt.com. It is about transportation, traveling, and giving directions. And well, what I get here is like the objective by the end of the lesson, students will be able to identify common modes of transportation, use vocabulary related to traveling, and give and understand basic directions using prepositions, for example, across from, next to, bit and bit. Or modes like car, bus, train, airplane, etc. But maybe I would like to have a discussion, maybe an open a little bit short discussion about flashcards. Should we use like a physical flashcards? Because if we use physical flashcards, it would be like printed, like we use a lot of papers and so on. I think maybe I can try to use another choice for making an eco-friendly material. So we use less paper. Maybe a flashcard can be replaced by another material or resource. Any idea on for the use of flashcard in the class? That's my question.
Oh, that's a question. All right, hello.
I would say, Santi, that when it comes creativity, and that's when like ChatGPT or any other AI platform cannot do, because we still have to decide on that. Like say, okay, I don't have access to flashcards because maybe they are too expensive, right? I cannot get like paper-based flashcards. So what else could I do? And well, you have some options like creating a worksheet. I don't know, even students could create their own flashcards based on the vocabulary that you can. I mean, based on your students' age, they could just like draw the flashcards and present them to the classroom. So in general, it doesn't really mean that you have to do all the work. Also, don't forget that English teaching is not only about like the teacher generating and creating all the content for the class, but also you can just give it to the students and just make it more interactive, more like, okay, instead of me doing all of the work, including the flashcards, then I could just ask every participant to bring one flashcard. I don't know how many students you have, but if there were like 30 participants, 30 students, you could say, okay, one student, you create a one flashcard based on this vocab, and then students present it. So it doesn't have to be all the work. It's more like the flipped classroom where like students take the control of the class, and then you are the guide. You are the teacher who guides the class and just leads them to the activity. So that's another approach to this. Even you could just, as students, like interact and create your flashcards on an AI platform and see what it comes up, or just draw them. Multiple options, but still our choice.
Oh, yeah, I see. So in other words, I am just a facilitator for the students in my class. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I see. Wow, nice idea. Thank you for sharing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I
Well,
think that's the two. Oh, do you have something to say, Santi?
no, that's enough. Enough,
Oh,
that's
okay,
enough.
okay. Well, I think that's the two representative from the group.
Could I have just 30 seconds real quick? I know we're late, we're very late, but I would just like to share another ChatGPT feature that probably not many people know, and these are personalized ChatGPTs. So ChatGPT is a platform, okay? But within ChatGPT, you can have multiple chats. And there are also chats that people have created, and these are very specific, okay? So these are explore ChatGPTs. As you can see here, I'll just highlight it for you. So here it says ChatGPT, and then it says explore GPTs, okay? So within these exploring GPTs, you have other options. So you have writing, productivity, research and analysis, education, lifestyle, programming. So if I click on education, then these are GPTs that other people or organizations have created, like Write Anything, Code Tutor, Tutor Me, Summarize, PDF book article, web text code, video summarizer. So these are other options. So if I search here, like, I don't know, if I write English teaching, and then I will have English language teaching assistant, linguistic mentor for Hungarians, English teacher. So this English guru. So these are some other GPTs that people have created, and these are specific ones. So when you create prompts, if you choose a specific GPT, then it's going to create more accurate responses. Okay. And also this is with a paid version, you can create also your GPTs. So you could have your twin, and you could also create your avatar. And I could have my Olaf, the athlete, Olaf, the English teacher, Olaf, the writer. And then you could have your GPTs with your prompts specific to that theme. So there's more of just like the regular ChatGPTs, but there's more options to see. So take your time, explore it, and then you will find out more features within ChatGPT. Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Olaf. That is a very nice sharing with us. That's a lot of things that happening and going on with this one. So we are so engaged to this AI, and the platform really enlighten our, broaden our horizon in how we, improve our teaching and also communication in class, especially how we connect with our student with this platform. Thank you so much. It's